If you find that you have to change the fuel flap actuator on a Golf MK7, you can either do it the difficult way, which seems to be the way that most people on YouTube are explaining how to do it, or you can do it an easier way, which was the way I found. So if you want to do it the easy way, the first thing you will have to do is disconnect the battery. Don't forget to disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. That way, if you do hit the bodywork with your spanner, you're not likely to light your eyes up. Once you've done that, you can gain access. Sorry, before you do that, obviously unlock your car, so that if you can get your fuel flap open, get it open. If your fuel flap is stuck, you'll have to unlock the car anyway, and then use a plastic tool or whatever you can to gain access in that gap and ease your fuel flap open. Anyway, once you've done that and disconnected the battery, you then gain access to the fuel flap actuator. Remove the little screw, as it says in the other videos there. You need a Torx driver of a T20 size. Once you've undone that, take the fuel flap off and tuck it inside here somewhere. Now, I've seen a video where somebody's actually gone to the trouble of removing the outer cover of this fuel flap. There's no need to, so leave that exactly where it is. All you need to do, once you've taken that screw out, is literally grab this behind here with your two fingers and give it a tug forward. There are just a couple of clips around here, and once you start dragging it forward from this end, it will automatically pull the hinge end out. You might find that you need to tuck your fingers around here and pull the rubber rim from around the filler nozzle, but once you've pulled that away like a grommet, then this whole thing will come forward, and it will include the door, including the outer bit, and the hinge mechanism. All comes out in one big unit. Leaves you this in situ, which you then slide forward off the bodywork. Now, this is where the other videos seem to think that you've got to climb in the boot, pull the boot lining out and all the rest of it to get to the plug that's in there. For some unforgivable reason, Volkswagen have decided to put the plug in a place that you just can't get to. So all I did was slide this actuator off, pull it forward as far as I could. There is a rubber grommet up inside here that you will need to pull down to give yourself a little bit more cable length. And then all I did was snip the cable, get my new fuel actuator, solder the cable wires back together. They're clearly coloured, you can't make a mistake. Make sure you insulate your joints once you've soldered the wires back together. Tuck it all back up inside, put your grommet back in, and put your actuator back in, and slide the rest of this gubbins back in. You don't have to climb inside the boot, you don't have to try and find the plug. Just do a neat job of soldering the two wires together once you've pulled the actuator forward. That's it, job done really. The only other thing I would say is that when you reconnect the battery, you might end up with a couple of error codes on your dash, and that should be just the ECU trying to find its feet again because you've had the battery disconnected. So you should find that after a couple of start stops, those error codes go away. If they don't, then obviously the car has found a fault, so you will need to put the OBD sensor on there, or get somebody with one to find out what your actual error codes are. I had two that flagged up, can't remember what they were, but they went after a couple of start stops of the engine. And job's a good one. Good luck.